Log report of the log report of the rattled. It's 10:23 in the morning. It's November 1st, 2023. We were Jancy Roseman, California. Hello, Daryl. Shall we continue on with this madness? Yeah, at the door I had somebody coming from Jehovah's Witnesses, I guess. When we started talking about the Bible, I know it's Jehovah's Witnesses. Nobody else from any other kind of religion comes over to my house in the first place to talk religion. So yeah, it's got to be rattled. Nothing wrong with Jehovah's Witnesses, except I don't want to talk about it. I didn't want to be in it. Don't even want anything to do with it. Now we're going to be talking to me about First United Methodist Church, and let's talk politics in that damn place. And about past experiences with that church. So I guess I'm going to get off of the Hollywood area. I'm going to scroll through the map. And if you still got the Google Maps up there, probably don't, but appreciate if you did. Type in First United Methodist Church of North Hollywood. We'll be right by the 170 freeway, the Hollywood. It'll be in the area closer to the 134 section. They'll have a park right along the Hollywood freeway. Past the NoHo district would be my church. Small section, but this place still has memories. My family was growing up in North Hollywood. Ma wanted a church for us to be grounded in. We tried a Baptist church across the street, been there a few times, and we still couldn't get into it. Hard as hell to deal with. Catholic church was my grandma's kind of thing, and we weren't exactly hip on that one. At least Ma wasn't anyway. I didn't make any friends over at the Baptist church, even though it was across the street from our apartment complex at the time. This was back in, the early 70s. Between 68 through 76. Somewhere in that time zone. Had to be about 69, 70 or something like that. Maybe somewhere in there. But we weren't feeling comfortable about it. But then I guess Ma heard things about the First United Methodist Church of North Hollywood. So what the hell? We went there. Changed our lives a great deal. They call it the Wesley School over there because they have schools there for about 20, 25 years. The church had to survive one way or another, so they developed a school over there. They got a campus right where certain areas where the sanctuary had certain events. They had a couple of halls, so they started using the halls for classrooms. Reconstructed, put trailers and everything else. When you see the map right now, it's about 2 or 3 years old. But it didn't look like that altogether, though. But it's still a church. Even though the old guard's gone. All of them. Passed on, moved on. And I still look at it and I still feel home. Dave and I grew up there. We listened to a pastor named Dr. Robert Long. God rest his soul. I got inducted into the church. I had classes I had to go through as a kid. Sunday school classes, but also other educational classes that would make me a member of the church as a young kid. And Dave was made part of the usher group. A young usher. Ma didn't teach over there, but well, she would have. But she didn't know the Bible that well. But she wanted us to know it. She wanted us to feel some place called home. Grandma and Aunt May, and Ma and Dave and I would go there. We'd sit in the sanctuary. David wasn't choir, but when he wasn't doing ushering, he would sit. I guess before they picked him as an usher, he did sit with the family. And I had to sit between Ma and Grandma. We'd listen to Dr. Robert Long. And then they had Dr. John Niggle and Bob Hildman. Oh, from North Hollywood days over the Arleta days, we still went over to that church. And we grew up in there. There have been times that Bob Hillman, Bob we called him, he would come by to see the ladies and then talk to me. He knew of what happened. He kept talking to me about what the Bible has said. But he had no knowledge and concept, and neither did I, and I was still trying to figure it out. Being put on an operating table at the age of 4 years old to save your life, and then dying 3 times and come back to life, it changes a person a great deal, I tell you. It changes a great deal in how we're supposed to be looking at the afterlife and how Jesus was and God was and everybody else at the same time. How'd it drive me nuts, I swear. But I tell you one thing, there wasn't that much anger in the place. Bit disappointment, though, later on in my adult life. When the ladies had died, Grandma and Aunt May died, we lost interest going to the church. We just couldn't deal with it because of the memories they had over there. Grandma also used to watch the Hour of Power, Robert H. Schiller. She fell in love with it, and so did I for a while, when Grandma was still alive. And afterwards, it fell out of favor. Well, once in a while, my family and I would go to, me and my brother and I would go to the Crystal Cathedral down Garden Grove. It's right off the 405 freeway between Anaheim Garden Grove area. Big edifice they have out there. Millions of dollars into that thing. We saw Christmas shows and we saw Easter shows in there. A few times. I bought Robert Shillow's books to read and give me some inspiration. Dave and I came back to the church back in the 90s. And they had need of choir. Well, Dave and I sang songs throughout our lives. We could hear a tune and would sing the lyrics like crazy. What better use to put those voices back in action and operation, huh? We went over and we talked to the choir master, Dennis Parnell. Pastor named Joey McDonald was, I forget what the assistant pastor's name was, but I remember Pastor Joey. He was a guy you couldn't forget. There are certain people out there that have a personality you just can't describe because they're that much of a special person. And so was Joey. And Dennis was also a character too, and it pissed off my brother sometimes. I guess these guys didn't see eye to eye one way or another. I don't know. But I got put back into choir. Well, I put back into first time. Barely read music. So I struggled like crazy. But, we managed. That's what choir practice was on Wednesday nights. Or actually Thursday nights. One of those two. Thursday nights, I guess. And we sang and we practiced and we sang and we practiced. I had to get the notes right. I had to hear it. I used a tape recorder to tape the whole damn thing so I can listen back and get the pitch going. Get it right. So when Sunday came, we had a little bit of a practice and then we went at it. Sometimes Ma was in the pews when she came with us, if she wasn't working all that much. Sometimes, actually, then Halloween time, they'd have fun doing the Halloween haunts in there, the Halloween mazes. And at Christmas time, they sell the trees. All the proceeds would go to the church. And if you have the vendor, but went to the church. Everyone supported it still to this day. Pastor Joey died several years ago. Broke my heart. New pastors flowed through the place, but just and everybody else I recognized already died off or left. Most of the structure is still intact. The last time I'd been over there was giving a message about my brother's passage. So anybody else remembered my brother at one way or another, they would remember the White Lily. Been over there when Mama died too, and that was hard. I hadn't been there since. It's still hard like hell. It's still hard like hell. Daryl, there's got to be some places, even you'd recognize, that meant the world to you. If you would be able to go back through time, what places would you go through or visit for a long period of time? In my memories, I'd be walking, if I was a ghost, I'd be haunting the church. I'd be haunting them. There would have been areas that I've been in that meant more. Choir room, sanctuary, one of the halls that they had, the lovely low rooms, the school rooms, not many places. The upper region of the sanctuary, actually, they had a overlook, overflow in there, actually. Everything's still maintained as much as they can. I could see into the sanctuary itself all the way over to the far end of it, and that overhang in that room. And one of the areas that they actually used for a main hall, they would have potlucks and events happening in there. Of course, they had the senior high room. I'd visited there maybe a couple of times, but not much. They had the scouting room. They still have a scouting shack out there, far end of the campus on the northeast section. There used to be a parking lot out there, and also turned into lots and whatever they needed it to be, I guess. But it was a scouting room. My brother was with the Boy Scouts at one time before he got tossed out for one reason or another. It wasn't his fault, the damn Scouts, I guess. A guy named Ken ran the scouting group. He had the lead over there. He was a good man. He was also one of the guys singing in a choir. He was really a nice guy. I didn't meet too many assholes over there. We're all nice, decent people anyway. And some of them we did have personal interactions with. Friends. Almost came close to family, you might say. The more I keep thinking about it, and the more I keep looking at the San Fernando Valley, the more I feel more nostalgic, and it's like I'm feeling and thinking how the old folks have thought when they kept talking about the old days. I remember when. And no wonder it hurts like hell at times. Because we will never get those days back. I'd say too many changes in the San Fernando Valley even beforehand Some of them I didn't quite exactly understood why. You remember drive-ins? There were several of them out in the San Fernando Valley. Not one exists. They got plowed over, residential or commercial. Made me sick to my stomach. I could do another video about that one. I'm not about to, not just yet. Not until I get into that kind of modeling feel of it. I was still home. The hardest thing about it. You want to hear the hardest thing about it? The last time I'd been through the valley, several years ago, right after David died. It was like about several months after he died. That I needed to get out of the house. And what better excuse than to go to Universal Studios Hollywood. I'd seen that place change so many damn times, it's not even funny. But I digress on this one. The thing about it is, besides seeing the old place that I used to work at for about a season and a half, and Dave used to work over there from off and on as a security guard, both on lot and production. Yeah, I worked for a production company at one time in security. But the place didn't hold that kind of a nostalgic feeling for the both of us where I'm thinking about and crying it all the time. No. Dave and I had been through the tours a few times as they changed. But after they did the Harry Potter, David never did go to see it. And right after he passed, I went over there to see it. But besides that area, I was a part of a tour group. Driving through the Antelope Valley, getting through the streets, and seeing what was going on. Right after Maud died, we'd been through a car and a train through the valley. And I could tell you, you'd know a place has already changed so much that you don't even know it anymore. It's no longer the valley I know and recognize. I guess I've known for several years. I keep going back on Facebook pages of old images I keep collecting. And then see some of the compare and contrast. Old dates to new dates. It makes me more sick to my stomach. Because I'm seeing my past being erased. Taken up by time, by events, by circumstances. That whatever I remembered, I still had to keep recording. I still have to keep talking about it. Not just to keep the memory alive, but just to mark it down that they existed, that they were supposed to be. I have to do this. I have to do this, Daryl. You know, today was supposed to be a class day for me. I wasn't feeling up to it this morning. So I sent in a letter to the professors about it. I may be out. Damn shame, too. This morning I felt terrified from nightmares I had concerning about crabs, and I hate crabs. Oh, I can't stand shellfish. It freaked me out. Pincers and these damn things coming out here to get you. I had nightmares about that for years of this shit. I had to have a nightmare over the damn shit. Freaked me out as much. Little tiny crabs organized, ready to get me. Ugh, scared the fuck out of me. Yeah, tore me apart on that one there. Anyway, I could go on for hours on this one. Groan if you must. I would if I were you. I'm already feeling it right now as it is, trying to tear me apart with all this damn nostalgia shit. Some of the areas I miss. A lot of times I missed. I can't pull them back. There's no way to hell to pull them back. I love it, but only from the past. I can't stand it during the day. I can't stand it during this time. And as for the city of Los Angeles, it keeps changing on me every so often that I can't even recognize it anymore. Don't you hate it when you get older? Things change like crazy. Yeah, I keep looking at the Antelope Valley. It doesn't change all that much. I've been here since 05, 06, somewhere in that time. I gotta tell you one more video. Something about this territory here.